Hi guys, how are you?
Doing
Hi,
great. How are
Linda.
you, Linda?
I'm good. I'm good. I watched your movie yesterday, and I was very intrigued by its the meaning behind it, but also by its ability not to be just in one single genre. So, can you talk me through what kind of genre do you
This
think it is?
filmmaker himself. Yes, he's right here. Brock, take it away.
Can you talk me through?
Brock.
I feel like this is almost like a new subgenre in sci-fi. So what do you how do you feel about that? Me
Well,
saying that to you.
early on when I was creating the film, I don't think I've ever actually told you this, but early on when I was creating the film, I to wrap my head around what I was trying to accomplish with it, because you're right, it is a mash of genres. It's a little different. I came up with this term that no one will ever use and will not catch on, but at least help me orient my brain, which is theofiction. So it's science fiction that's got some theology in it, or at least a faith element. And for me,
I'm gonna get T-shirts made.
theofiction.
Angel Studios. It's kind of perfect.
But yeah, I mean, look, I'm a sci-fi fan from way back, and so is the world. The top 10 films of all time, 7 of them are science fiction. And so these are the stories that we love, and because they expand our minds. And I don't know anything more mind expanding than faith, than what I believe in. It opens up the universe to me, and it opens me up to what God has to offer us, which is everything. So why can't these genres come together, and why can't we express ideas and truths and principles through science fiction, which we do anyway in all of our science fiction stories? Why can't we take faith and express those truths and principles through science fiction? To me, why not come together? It all made sense in my head. I'm just grateful that the movie came out, and it's making sense to other people too.
I didn't realize. So right now, there's a lot of similarities to Minority Report in this film.
Oh yeah, I borrowed from Minority
I
Report.
never thought of that until this moment right now.
You know how cool it was when we cast you? You were in Minority Report.
I was?
Yeah, someone should have told you before now.
But
Neal,
wow,
I want to ask you something.
a little slow. I'm Irish. It happens.
And Neal, you've had an awesome, like, just a very lengthy career of playing all sorts of very interesting characters, but I don't think I've ever seen you play such a villainous character in my life. I really
Fullest I've ever. Sure.
What does it take to play someone like that?
Have you met my mother-in-law? Hey, that one.
Yeah, you are.
Boy, this is one of those characters. I don't watch my movies because I don't like to borrow from one character and infuse it into another character. So I really don't like to watch my stuff. And not that I don't enjoy it, because whatever, but I want everything to be kind of fresh. And the other night I sat in the theater and I saw colors that I got lost watching this character. And there are things that came out of me that I didn't think were really in me, but being a method actor, what you dredge up out of your soul. And when you have to play a character that's so multi-layered in his approach to everything, it was just kind of fascinating for me to just to watch and to see all the stuff that came out on the screen, and to be there with my 5 children watching dad go off the rails. And at the end of the film, for them all to say how much they loved the performance, they loved the film, they wanted to talk about this movie. Here I got to play basically the devil in a film that's family friendly, that yet talks about dark issues. It's, a lot of the faith-based films of years ago were just very sweet films. Now through Angel Studios, we get to talk about real issues of life and call you on how faithful really are you? How much do you really love God? Do you love yourself more than him, or do you love him more than yourself? And those are the tenets that in our house we live by: God first, me second; family first, me second. And yeah, I've got to play some pretty horrific characters in life, but that's my job, is to someone has to be that to tell the goodness in a film. And I'm going to dig as deep into a character as possible and make you really enjoy the benefactor at one point. At some points, make you really be horrified and scared of the benefactor at another point. But by the end of the film, we also figured out a way how to make you feel sympathy for the villain in this piece. So it was a real roller coaster of emotions for me to act it, but it was even more of a roller coaster of emotions for me to watch it. And I got choked up, and I get choked up.
Yeah.
Now thinking about all the stuff I had to go through to play this character, and I can't thank Brock enough for it.
Well, it's a tremendous performance. I mean, you give me a lot of credit for what's on the page, but there are moments like that you're talking about. That was you bringing something to the table that was not on the page, and you brought a depth and a nuance to it that I think people are going to be floored. They're going to be floored by your performance, and they should be. And it's, I don't know, I'm very biased, but in my personal opinion, it's my favorite thing you've ever done. I think it's the best performance you've ever given. But again, I'm very biased. But
thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, I just want to finish off on asking, because I don't have that much time left, but I'm very intrigued. And I know that you signed on to do this before we knew how well Sound of Freedom was going to do, or how well it was. So if you've ended up by accident being part of this revolutionary way of making movies, how does that feel?
Oh gosh, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure I didn't think we were going to have. But it's a tremendous opportunity, and eyes are on this film that otherwise would not be. And as a storyteller, as a creator, as an artist, that's what you want. You're trying to present something to the audience. Otherwise, I'd just still be in my room just scribbling and shoving it into a drawer. So thankfully, it's out of the drawer and it gets to go to the whole world. And that's because we are part of something that's a lot bigger than just this film.
But here's the thing: if this is the type of film that you want to see more of, and it seems like, Sound of Freedom just kind of made all of Hollywood think, wait a second, we can talk about dark subject matter, but have hope at the end of it. Why don't we make more films like that? Why do we have dark subject matter and it ends with a dark ending? So what Angel Studios is doing is they're allowing filmmakers like Brock to tell their stories that have an amplification of light instead of just darkness. So you can go out this weekend, you can go support the film by just going to watch the film, buy tickets for people who can't afford to have the tickets, people who need to see films like this to make them realize that you can get through life if you just have a little more faith. Mm-hmm. And these are really important films to make. And if the more tickets you buy, the more you support this film, the more it tells Hollywood, we're tired of just dark films. Can we make films where the whole family can go to see and actually have a discussion about true life and flaws and problems and death and all kinds of things that happen to us all, but we can actually make a film about it and talk about it with my 9-year-old to my 17-year-old, sitting next to my wife or sitting next to my amazing mother-in-law. So I got back to my amazing mother-in-law.
No, that's good. That's right. Rounded it off.
And that's the great thing about this film. So please, I implore everyone, go out and buy tickets, go support what Angel Studios is doing this weekend. And it will send a big, huge message through Hollywood.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll leave it at that very positive sentiment. Thank you so much for speaking to me, and good luck with all of it.
Thank you, Linda.
God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys.
Hey you guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys.
Hey, you guys.